Frederick W. Smith grew up in Marks, Mississippi. It was a small town, but it was there that a big idea began to form. From a young age, he was fascinated by how things moved from one place to another. He saw the world not just as it was, but as it could be. This early curiosity planted a seed. It was a seed that would one day grow into a global empire. Smith was a dreamer, but he was also a doer. He knew that just having an idea was not enough. You had to have the courage to pursue it, even when others could not see your vision. His childhood in the South shaped his understanding of community and connection, themes that would become central to his future business. Later, as a student at Yale University, Smith was asked to write a paper for an economics class. He didn't just write about an existing business model. Instead, he imagined something entirely new. He proposed a system that could deliver packages overnight, anywhere in the country. His idea was revolutionary. It involved a central hub where all packages would arrive. From there, they would be sorted and flown out to their final destinations. This hub-and-spoke model was completely different from how things were done at the time. It was a bold prediction of a faster, more connected world, a world hungry for speed and reliability. You might think his professor would be impressed, but that's not what happened. The story goes that Smith received a C for his paper. The idea was considered interesting, but not very practical. It seemed too complicated, too expensive, and perhaps even impossible. The professor, and many others, simply couldn't grasp the potential. They were stuck in the present, while Smith was already living in the future. This early rejection could have discouraged him. For many people, it would have been the end of the story. But for Fred Smith, it was just the beginning. It taught him an important lesson. Believing in your own idea is the most important step. This experience at Yale did not crush his spirit. In fact, it might have made him even more determined. He held on to his vision. He knew that the world was changing. Businesses were becoming more global, and the need for fast, reliable shipping was growing every single day. He saw a gap in the market that no one else was filling. His college paper wasn't just an academic exercise. It was a blueprint for the future. He tucked the idea away, knowing that the right time to build it would come. He just needed the right experience and the right skills to turn his dream into a reality. After graduating from Yale, Fred Smith made a choice that would change his life. He joined the U.S. Marine Corps. He was sent to Vietnam, where he served 2 tours of duty. He wasn't sitting behind a desk. He was on the front lines, flying more than 200 combat missions. The war was a difficult and dangerous experience. It tested him in ways he could never have imagined. He saw firsthand the importance of leadership, discipline, and teamwork. In the chaos of combat, you have to trust the people next to you. You have to make quick decisions under incredible pressure. These were lessons that could not be learned in a classroom. His time in the military was not just about combat. It was also a masterclass in logistics. As a pilot, he observed the military's vast supply chain network. He watched how people, equipment, and supplies were moved around the world with incredible precision. He saw how critical it was to get the right things to the right place at the exact right time. The military system was complex, but it worked. It was a real-world version of the hub-and-spoke model he had written about at Yale. This experience gave him the confidence that his idea was not just a theory. It could be done on a massive scale. In Vietnam, Smith learned that a successful operation depends on every single person doing their job. From the general to the private, everyone has a role to play. He learned how to motivate people to achieve a common goal, even in the face of great danger. This focus on people would become a core principle of his future company. He understood that if you take care of your team, they will take care of the mission. This is a simple truth, but it is one that many leaders forget. Smith never did. He carried the lessons of military leadership with him long after he left the service. When he returned home, Fred Smith was a different man. He was no longer just a student with a bold idea. He was a decorated veteran and a seasoned leader. He had the practical knowledge and the unshakable confidence he needed to take the next step. His time in Vietnam had given him the final pieces of the puzzle. He had the vision from Yale. He had the logistical knowledge from the military, and he had the leadership skills forged in the heat of battle. He was finally ready to build his empire and change the world of business forever. In 1971, Fred Smith took his inheritance and his life savings and founded Federal Express. The company officially began operations in 1973. The idea was simple but audacious. to create a delivery service that guaranteed overnight shipping. At the time, this seemed like science fiction. Most people sent important documents by mail, which took days. Others used air freight, but it was slow and unreliable. Smith wanted to combine air and ground transport into one seamless network. He bought a fleet of small jets and set up his central hub in Memphis, Tennessee. It was a massive gamble. Everything had to work perfectly from the very first night. The early years were incredibly difficult. The company was losing millions of dollars. Fuel costs were rising, and many experts predicted that Federal Express would fail. They said the business model was flawed and that Smith was destined to lose everything. There were moments when it seemed like they were right. The company was so short on cash that it struggled to make payroll. Smith had to fight every single day just to keep the business alive. He poured every ounce of his energy and belief into the company, refusing to give up even when things looked their worst. He was asking his employees to believe in a promise that had not yet been proven. There is a famous story from this period that shows Smith's incredible resolve. The company was down to its last few $1,000s. It did not have enough money to fuel the planes for the coming week. Facing bankruptcy, Smith took the remaining company funds and flew to Las Vegas. He played blackjack all weekend. It was an act of pure desperation, but incredibly, he won. He returned with enough money to cover the fuel bill and keep the company going for one more week. It was a turning point. Soon after, Federal Express finally began to secure the funding it needed to survive and grow. That risky bet paid off. Businesses quickly realized the power of overnight delivery. Suddenly they could send contracts, parts, and products across the country in a fraction of the time. Federal Express, which later became FedEx, created a new standard for speed and reliability. The company's purple and orange planes became a symbol of its promise, when it absolutely, positively has to be there overnight. Smith had not just built a company, he had created an entirely new industry. He had proven all the doubters wrong and showed the world that a crazy idea, backed by relentless determination, can indeed change everything. Today, FedEx is a global giant. It is a name that is recognized in nearly every country on Earth. The company operates one of the world's largest airlines and delivers millions of packages every single day. What started as a risky idea in a college paper has become the backbone of modern commerce. FedEx has won countless awards for its business success and is consistently ranked as one of the most admired companies in the world. This success is a testament to Fred Smith's original vision and his unwavering commitment to innovation. He never stopped looking for ways to make the network faster, smarter, and more efficient. But Fred Smith's impact goes far beyond the world of business. He has always been a passionate advocate for public policy and national service. He has used his platform to speak out on important issues like energy independence and economic competitiveness. He served as the chairman of the U.S.-China Business Council, working to build bridges between two of the world's most important economies. He has also been a major force in preserving our nation's history. He was a driving force behind the campaign to build the National World War II Memorial in Washington, D.C., ensuring that we never forget the sacrifices of that generation. Even after achieving incredible success, Smith has continued to lead with the same passion and focus he learned as a young Marine. He understands that leadership is not just about profits and losses. It's about serving a greater purpose. It's about creating opportunities for others and leaving the world a better place than you found it. His life story shows that you can be a brilliant entrepreneur and a dedicated citizen at the same time. He has built more than just a company. He has built a legacy of service, innovation, and integrity that will inspire people for many years to come. So, what can we learn from the journey of Fred Smith? His story asks us to look at our own ideas, especially the ones that others might dismiss. It reminds us that rejection is not the end, but often a beginning. It teaches us that real-world experience and relentless hard work are what turn a dream into reality. Think about the ideas you have. What problems do you see in the world that need solving? Fred Smith saw a world that needed to be more connected, and he built the system to do it. His story is a powerful reminder that one person with one big idea can truly change the